What's poppin', Mr. Christian Taylor?
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, this is Christian. I'm James. We're both Lifeplus ambassadors. Um, and my sport is athletics, sprinting, and Christian's is triple jump athletics. Um, so I kind of remember the first time how we met, but I'd like to recollect and hear how Christian thinks we met. I think he should same place still.
Right. Well, what's going on, Life Plus family? Yeah, morning, afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you're listening to this. Thank y'all for tuning in. Yeah. I think it's unique, right? Because we do have some similar circles. We've got some family ties. And whether it's family, Southeast London, but I would actually say that our first meeting was probably when I moved to Loughborough in 2013.
Right. Yeah. All right. Yeah, you're on the right tracks. It was 2013.
Okay.
Sure. I think first time we met was in Stellenbosch, South Africa.
Right. Training camp.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Stellenbosch. So I remember that. I was like, yeah, big superstar Christian, because he was already a world champion and Olympic champion by that time. So obviously I was like, rah, this guy's big time, you know what I mean? So he's strutting around on the track. Not really, he's a humble guy, but he's on the track and I'm thinking, this is the real deal. So that was when I first met him. And then after that, yeah, you said Loughborough. We moved to Loughborough for training. And that was fun. That was interesting. So yeah, we played a lot of fun and games to keep ourselves occupied because Loughborough is a bit dead. It's a university town. Nothing's really going on, right? So yeah. With the Pelicans and the that was fun.
If I could say, obviously for the English listeners, what was it like for you to move to Loughborough from London, right? Like, so for me, I mean, it's 2 hours away. US is big, right? So reference wise, it's down the street. I mean, for you from London
for me, it was hell, to be honest, because London's popping, isn't it? London's always got stuff going on, and Loughborough was the one place we used to go there for relay training. And I'm like, there's one place I couldn't live in the UK, it's Loughborough. And then lo and behold, that was like a reverse manifestation, isn't it? Like, I don't want to live in Loughborough, and then I end up living in Loughborough. So be careful what you even speak, people. Not even what you wish for. Be careful to speak, because it's crazy. But talk about manifestation. When you was younger, Christian, what was your biggest dream? I know what mine was. What was your biggest dream?
Actually, I thought I was going to be a footballer, right? So I thought I was going to be World Cup, just Team USA. Obviously, we got a lot of pride, right? So it was just like, I already saw myself pulling my shirt over my head, like celebrating. I really thought football was going to be my thing. Olympics didn't come till a bit further. But yeah, I mean, it's like you said, manifestation, right? Like my dad just said, look, you're not going to be a footballer, though you're passionate about it. You don't have the skill.
People talk about manifestation. I didn't even know I could run at 3, but in my head, I was like, I want to do that. And it turned out. So again, I think the power of the mind is not to be underestimated. So,
were there any particular athletes that stuck out with you, like any moment? I mean, obviously you talk about 3, but maybe even the following Olympics, were there any athletes that you were like, wow, that's who I want to be?
Yeah, it was Linford Christie, man. So I was like, right, I want to run and I want to be like him. I ended up doing the same thing and ended up being coached by him, which is,
wow,
that's a bit spooky, you know what I mean? So yeah, so that was kind of the start of my dream. But which were the mechanisms that helped you achieve? I would say you dream, because you dream as a footballer, you never became it, right? But it helped you achieve becoming Olympic champion, world champion. I'm saying this, people, because if you don't already know, this guy is, he's a bad boy in a good way. Double Olympic champion.
Yeah, double Olympic champ and then 4-time world champ. Yeah,
4-time world champ, just like that. 4-time world champ. Yeah. So what was the mechanisms that helped you achieve this?
Now, for me, it's obviously like you have the cliche dedication, sacrifice, like all that stuff. But to really live it out, man, and we'll speak on this obviously moving forward. But man, just resilience, perseverance, like these are the biggest traits. Like, my story started with being a footballer, right? Where my dreams of being a footballer, and we're all going to be derailed. We're all going to have a dream. Like, chase that dream, go after the dream. Make sure that you have, I mean, I feel like this can unveil a bunch of things, but make sure you have people around you that are going to just be honest, open, transparent, like tell you how it is. I had my dad, fortunately, who was like, that may be a dream,
Yeah.
but your body's telling you something else, right? Like you don't have the agility, you don't have what it takes to be a footballer. Figure out something else. And so I just had to realign. I was grateful for that because of someone just being completely honest with me, right? Like I ended up walking into the best thing that happened to me, right? And so I found athletics, went into that, and then it was just like, yeah, you have to be dedicated, you have to make a plan, you have to set goals. But man, and James, obviously you're gonna be able to speak on this heavy, but there are gonna be times where you're gonna have setbacks, right? There are gonna be times that you're derailed. There are gonna have times where you're like, man, I feel like I'm hitting a wall. For track and field, it can be where you're running the same time over and over, right? You're trying new lifts, you have different coaches, you try and all these different approaches, but you still keep coming to the same place, right? And it's like that spirit of resilience where it's just like, regardless, my dream, I'm not going to give up on it. I'm just going to continue to push through. And that's where the breakthrough comes, right? It's for those that don't give up really when the going gets tough. And for me, that was just one of the biggest things, just that perseverance spirit, that resilient spirit that when I'm in training, I really quit. But like people think we love being in the rain. We love being in the cold. Like, no, we just like whoever's listening, right? Like we don't want to train every single day, right? But it's like that fire that we have, that goal that burns brighter than all the mess that we have to go through. And then when it's like we have that opportunity that we're at that fork where we could walk, we're just like, no, you know what? Like, I need this. Not I want it. Like, I need to make this happen. I feel like that's when the breakthrough comes. But yeah, man, that would be a little bit for me. And what about for you, man? What do you?
Yeah, no. I mean,
what's your
me,
mindset? What's your actions to make it happen?
I think these guys have heard my story. They've heard me bang on about it last time in the podcast, so they know that I was in a massive road traffic accident and nearly died, basically. But yeah, I'd have to second you on that. I think anyone that's made it successful in anything, whether it's sport or business, it's that perseverance. It's doing the hours when you don't want to do the hours. It's Daley Thompson, one of our old British athletes. He used to train on Christmas Day. And the reason why he used to train on Christmas Day is because he knew that would be the day his competitors were resting. And he was like, nah, I'm getting that extra day in. So it's doing the things at the times that nobody else wants to do it. That's you kind of, you know what I'm saying? That's when you start leveling up. So yeah, for me, I think kind of my main challenge overcoming was, well, I could say it was the crash, but I'd say leading up to the crash, I think my life in general has been pretty much a challenge. I've never really been an athlete that's had everything given to me easy. I've always had to work for it. I was talented, but I wasn't the most talented. I used to just work hard, right? And again, I had other people, family and friends, trying to steer me off into another path, which is a whole new conversation. When I look back on it now, right, that's crazy. But yeah, no, I think perseverance, getting through them challenges, that's the main thing. I know you had a bad Achilles rupture a few years back. So for you to be where you are now is amazing. Like how's that been? How was that facing your first big challenge? Because I know, obviously, I'm not saying your career has been smooth. Your career's been tough. People don't see what goes on behind the scenes and the work put in.
Yeah.
But they look at your resume and they say, world champion by 21, Olympic champion by 22, another Olympic champion, world champion. It's like you can't miss, right? And I'd say, for me personally, I'd say that's probably your biggest injury / obstacle in your professional career so far. How's that been trying to get through that?
Believe it or not, so I'm the first athlete that's won the Olympics off both legs. So I actually had to switch legs, from to Rio. So I did have a little setback, in that thing. But the thing is, obviously, like that was the thing so I had to basically just I had 1 year that I had to just reset, realign, like just make it happen, right? And so learning how to switch legs, I thought either I give up a point or I figure it out. This is actually what helped me, and this is why every setback is not always like life ending. This can actually be an opportunity that you can develop, right? And that is actually developing you for something that could be you down the road. And so, believe it or not, that time I was like, man, this is the worst thing that could happen. I'm world Olympic champion, 22 years old. Life is great. Now I have to learn how to jump from the other leg. I have to start over. 10 years later, I tear my Achilles, right before the Olympic Games. And I thought, man, once again, do I stop? But in that moment, it was like, I've already been here. I've already had to reset. I already know what it takes. Like, I know it's going to suck. I know I gotta push through. I know they're going to be really, as you know, rehab can be very lonely, right? You have a therapist, gives you exercise. I'll see you in 15 minutes, right? So it's just like, you have to find this will deep inside that's just like, okay, I'm doing this for myself, right? Like, you have to find, and that's why I talk about that fire. But I didn't know that 10 years later, I was being developed for this moment. And it was like, well, that didn't stop me. So why is this, like, this is not going to hold me back? And so I think this also leads me to, James, I mean, one thing I've learned from you, training, living, doing life with you, like, I've never met a hungrier person, right? Like, you have, maybe it comes off as fear, anger, but like, you have a drive, like, that I've always admired. But I've saw that, like, no matter what the obstacle is, it could be driving, like somebody's in your way. It could be, right, like training. It could be your music, like on and off the track, how you do life. When you go after something, you go out 110%, right? Where does that drive come from? Where does that stem from? And how did you get that mentality?
Good question, man. Back at me. Say that as well. If I'm being honest, I don't know. It's from being a child. I think it's you know what I'm saying. I don't think it's come from very good places, to be honest. I think it's come from maybe being left to my own to do certain things, maybe not really being kind of mollycoddled, stuff like that. I think I've just had this. Yeah, it's a hard question to answer. It's just something that's
the reason I bring it up is right now, like, I feel like there's a spirit of entitlement. There's a spirit of like, I deserve this. I feel like we were just the era before that, right? So
yeah.
Speak on something.
You're right. I'll say that again. Like, well, I don't want to slander anyone, but again, I think the world in general, you see a lot of people now that are entitled and they think they should be getting stuff. And some of these young athletes as well, like, they come into this game and they don't realize that, hold on, it's not about your Instagram profile, mate. You need to go out and perform. And there's people that don't make teams. There's people that don't make teams that have got big contracts because they're posting good selfies, which I just think, man, this ain't the real world. Like, what are you doing this for? Are you doing this for that? Or are you doing this to actually be a champion? So that champion spirit now, it's hard to come by, man. Everything's glitz and glamour, and it's not the hard work and the perseverance. I'm not saying everybody, but there is, like you said, there's a sense of entitlement because there's a lot of people out there getting stuff without having to really go for it. Everybody else feels like, I can just do it. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm a celebrity now. You know, I'm on Instagram with 100,000 followers. Yeah. I'm a celebrity, which, God, don't even get me started. But to go on to more, say, manifestation and techniques and visualization, and what do you currently use, if you use any sort of manifestation, visualization, something to get your mindset right for what you're going to do?
Yeah, I think, and this is something, as I said, like, I learned from you, right? Like we talked a lot from training camps, like the power of your words, the power of what you're projecting out there, the power of, like, visualization. I mean, we were having some deep talks in these training camps, and you were teaching me actually, like, how important each day lines up to that end goal, right? And so like, you cannot belittle January, even though the final goal is in July, August, right? And so that was something that I really had to learn from you. Like, I have to seize these days because all these things are basically pouring into that of the championship season. So I think manifestation is huge, putting that out there, seeing that, right? Whether it's written, you know, for some people that have journals, whether that's printing something out and just sticking that on your locker, sticking that on your door and seeing that every day, to visualization, right? I think a lot of times you have to see it before you believe it. You have to see it before you achieve it. And in training every day, like, I'm trying to see the steps that I'm trying to accomplish, right? And so, or in my jumps, right? I'm trying to see me execute everything I'm working on every day, like, when the time comes. So when the pressure's on, right, I'm ready to respond because I've seen it. And if you read the books on the neurotransmitters and how the brain works, right? Like, if you envision something enough and you go to that deep place, your brain also really can't decipher if you've actually done this or if it's something you've thought about, right? And so I don't want to go too deep into this, but there is a lot of power in your thoughts.
Real, it's real. Yeah. I agree.
And so I'm really a believer in visualization. I really, if you want to be a business owner, see your business, put a name on it, like go to the details of the bricks and whatever that may be, right? If you're selling something, see yourself having the best month of your life, right? It's not going to be next year. It's like today, I'm going to make the phone calls. So yeah, I get really passionate about this because I'm a real believer in this, but I would say like that's been a key to my success. I've seen myself being on top of the podium. I didn't want it. Like I needed it. And I was like, okay, so what does that look like? What does it look like? What is my uniform going to be? Right? Like, how am I going to put my head down when he's putting the medal over my head? I saw it before it happened. What about you, man? Are you a journaler?
I've been visualizing and manifesting stuff since I was a kid. I've always dreamt of running 10 seconds, going to the Olympics and all the rest of it. And like you said, I don't believe it. I know it's real because anybody that's got to a level in anything, they've pictured it, they've seen it. You can't get somewhere without knowing the route. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's, your mind's kind of like the sat nav. I need to see that place first, and then I can get there. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's been studies out there of people sitting down for 3 weeks just picturing going to the gym every day, and they've put on X percent of muscle just from like there's been studies. That's facts. So the mind's super powerful. And like I said to you, I've always said the mind can do so much. Like people think I'm hard-headed. It's not that I'm hard-headed. It's because I'm seeing stuff like this is gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And then lo and behold, boom, stuff happens. I'm like, oh god. That's why I said you gotta be careful with your words as well, because you might say the wrong thing or think about the wrong thing, and you know what I'm saying. So I always sing your praise. Right? They say, oh, who's your favorite athlete? And I'm like, I'm not being biased because he's probably my best friend in the sport, but Christian Taylor. And they're like, why? I'm like, because he's talented as hell. Not because of his talent, but what do you say keeps you grounded through the ups and the downs?
That second part, right? Like, regardless of the ups, there will be downs. And it's not saying that it's just like, oh, things are going well, I know the bad is coming. No, but it's the same person you were on the climb, the same, like, you were shaking hands, you were being kind to people. Like, you got to be that same person when you're on top. Just be the opposite, right? Now you're in a position to bless others. Now you're in a position to help others, to show them how you made it, right? And so, I mean, I talked about this from the very beginning, the importance of your circle. I mean, you and I, like, we know this, we've lived this out, right? Like, you got to keep your circle extremely tight, extremely small, but it's quality over quantity. Having the followers, having the associates, that's like, there's nothing wrong with that. Have them, right? But know the difference between those that are going to be in your life for a lifetime, those who are in your life for a season, for a reason, right? Like, and I think once you compartmentalize, once you understand that there are people that do want to see you at your best, there are people that do want to see you succeed, there are people that want you to reach your goals, and then vice versa, you want to see them. Man, when you got someone pointing to you and you pointing to them, y'all can only win, right? And so, yeah, I think that's always what kept me home. I just surrounded myself with people like-minded, right? Equal yoke. Because other people will take your energy, distract you, take you away. And you spoke about your life situation, right? Like, you had your circle, you could have been with these people, and then we would not be sitting here talking about James right now.
Listen, I've had too many circles. I've got a dot now. I've got a dot. Listen, I've got a dot now. I've got like a handful of people. You know what it is? And that's, again, for you people listening out there, like, wherever it is, it mainly comes with success, because people aren't jealous of people that aren't successful, right? But I haven't got a jealous bone in my body. It's just not in me. But I used to sit there and think, why are some people jealous, or why do some people do certain things? I put a post out today about it, and I said, you know what? There's people out there having a secret competition in their own head with you, and you don't even realize it, and they're still losing. They're losing the competition that they're having with you, and you don't even know they're having a competition. Yeah. And that turns into jealousy, resentment. So you have to be super careful. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. There's people out there that are having a competition with you in their own head, and you don't even know about it. Yeah. So you need to be careful with who you're around. And when you, like you said, when you do find good people, you hold on to them and you give back to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so important, and that can be your downfall, or it could be your rise. Do you know what I'm saying? You like that say.
I feel like the catch. If I was, I mean, it sounds like you're in the booth right now, but if I was on a treadmill listening to this podcast right now, I would have fallen. I would have fell right off. To hear, I mean, the caption of this whole podcast should be the secret competition, right? I know you're all about the secret, right? So let's not even get to that, but the secret competition that, what?
Yeah, bro.
Man, you could unravel that for the rest of the talk.
Unpack the whole thing. Like, I didn't realize until I'm 38 years old, and I sat there and I thought, hold on, I've realized some people were in competition. I didn't even know they was in competition. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know I was in a competition with them. It's in their own head. So
wow.
You have to see that. You have to see certain things, man. But moving on to the future. Like, you still got a few years in the game. What's your ultimate goal? And this is a hard question because you already, you've achieved everything. There's one last thing for you to achieve, right? Which, I mean, it's God's will is a world record. Is that still your ultimate goal? What is your ultimate goal? Or have you achieved it already?
Yes. Yeah, that's great. So this is 2024, next year, Paris, coming up. I actually plan for it to be my last games, but I'm not going to put that in stone because you just don't know what life brings you, right? And so I'll say this is going to be my best games. How about that? The ultimate goal right now is to make the team, get through the rounds, and everyone says like, no, like you've been there, you should be thinking about podium. What you have to understand, right? It's a process, right? If you put the horse before the carriage, right, you're going to be the fool. And so making the team, especially for the US, it's a very hard team to make it. So just about executing, seeing that, visualizing that, doing what it takes to get there. And then beyond that, weirdly enough, I think this is more of a maturity side of my career, but it's also about just cherishing the process now. I feel like when I was World Olympic champ, like early on, James, this happened so quickly. Like I didn't even realize what was going on, right? It was like, oh, Philip Sado, I can't believe this. I want to get his autograph. And my former coach and teammates were like, yo, you need to compete. You're not out here to be a fan. But all my life, I was like, I'm in Crystal Palace right now, right? Like, I can't believe I'm jumping with my idols. I can't believe that. And it got me into a mindset where it's like, no, these aren't your friends, right? Like now you got to eat. Now this is your job. I changed this mentality, and it was like, okay, now I got to beat everybody. I got to grind. And 10 years were a blur, right? It was just like, I just got to eat. I just got to. And now I'm at a point where it's just like, wow, let me slow down and
absorb it
a little bit. Yeah. Right. Like, I get to be in beautiful cities. I get to travel. There's nothing wrong when I'm on the track. Like I can dial that in, become a dog, all this. But after the meet, why should I not just go to a coffee shop? Why should I not meet people? Why should I not sit down and have conversations? So I think that's the ultimate goal, to like be the best athlete I could be, but then also like enjoy maybe the last season of my life, right? Because it's like this. Time flies. And so I would say that's my ultimate goal right now. And what about you?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, the world's my oyster, literally. Going back to the mindset, it's like when I do something, I do it properly. So I'm in this transition period right now where I'm like, what do I do? I've had quite a few people around me that are trying to get into certain things, good things, business. But ultimately, I need to do what I'm going to do next. I have to be passionate about, and I have to be willing to put 100% effort into it. So I'm not rushing. So over the next few months, I've got a few things that I'm planning and conjuring up, and I've no doubt that they'll be successful if I bring the same drive and determination I've had throughout my life with everything else into this. But yeah, like you said, it's kind of just enjoying stuff as well, alongside being business, enjoying life and enjoying the good people around me and enjoying the moments. And because as an athlete, you always tend to think about the next thing. You don't really capture the moment and live in the moment. You kind of, right, boom, I've won Diamond League. What's the next competition? Rather than, look where I am. I'm in a massive stadium, 50,000 people, doing what I love for a sport. this is amazing. Take it in, absorb it, and then okay, the next one, absorb it again. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. What about you?
Can I ask? Because I mean, for me, like I just feel a pull that like somebody needs to understand this, man. And I talk about your mindset, and I maybe it's just because I just cherish and respect this so much. But how important is having the right mindset to achieving these goals, right? Like regardless if that's on the track, the business, man. Like because I always tell people it's not about talent, right? Like talent is important to get to, but that 1% is gonna make the difference between a medal and not, right?
Yeah,
like season the deal. So can you just unravel that a little bit? Because I think that's somebody, I mean, especially coming from you, that's a gift.
Well, number one is the most important. I think without your mind, you don't have anything, right? I think, like I said before, everything starts off with inside your mind. So that's your first step. But then it's kind of, David Goggins. You ever hear him? He's a guy. Yeah. He's ex-Navy Marine, but his mindset is crazy. I think you kind of have to have a crazy mindset to achieve great heights, especially in sport. And it's just not giving up. It's the perseverance thing. I think everyone can have a strong mind until they've done 5 300s and they're spinning and nearly fry up on the floor and they're thinking, right, I don't know no more. But it's dragging yourself back up despite everything in your body physically telling you, you need to stop. This is not normal. Yeah. It's being able to override these situations. And yeah, you was the hard man when the music was going and you was fresh, but you're still the hard man now. So it's trying to get that second voice that's telling you, don't worry, just stop. No. You need to ignore that voice. That voice is, no, we don't want to hear you right now. There's obviously times when that voice is important with overdoing it, right? But really deep down if you're overdoing it or you're just being, you're wimping out. You know what I'm saying? So that little voice there gets to 99.9% of people, and that's where they stop. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The people that can silence that voice and carry on, they're the people that break through the barrier and they start achieving higher heights. So
thank you.
Yeah, it's a deep thing. It's easy. Everyone talks about mindset these days, but I don't really see many people talk about mindset that are really shown real mindset. You know what I'm saying? There's very few people on the planet that show what a real mindset is. You're one of them. You get to think about it. You've been in a situation where you're going into your last jump in the Olympic Games and you're down. Now you have to achieve the furthest jump in the competition at the Olympic Games in this one moment with 70,000 people around you to win a gold medal. That's real pressure. Yeah. Most people, they're crumbling straight away, right? They don't know how to deal with it. Now, this isn't a one-off because you've done this many times, right? Yeah. I've always said to Christian, why Christian don't get turned on until someone jumps in the pit, celebrates his face, right? And then I look and see, all right, he switched on now, right? That's what a mindset is. That's, all right, cool. Am I the baddest at this or am I not? This is the time to turn it on. So that's when you see mindset. High pressure situations where you want to give up. You know what I'm saying? These are things that you can't really train it, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? You can't train it. So I think it's a gift. Yeah. You can try and create some sort of flame and work to that, but it's not really trainable. You have to put yourself in the trenches to feel this. Do you know what I'm saying?
So this is perfect. Thank you. And I know you can go into that, but I just felt like somebody needs to hear that. What advice would you give the next generation athlete?
The next generation of athletes, what advice would I give them? I'd say number one, nothing's given. You're gonna have to earn it yourself. Yeah. Don't be fooled because you see everyone else, especially in this social media age, you see everyone else. Everyone looks super successful, right? Everyone looks like they're doing great, but no one isn't posting the down times. Yeah. And I'll say again, don't be a follower, man, because a lot of people that are showing stuff online, yeah, it's lies. It's lies. Like you see me and you, like we document our training, right? And this is why I like Lifeplus as well, because genuinely good company, genuinely good people. I wouldn't align myself with people that I didn't vibe with, right? And I post on social media, right? But the posts I'm putting up is what I'm really doing. I'm training all the time. Yeah, I'm always training, right? And going back to my accident, when I was in my downtimes, I was rolling in a wheelchair. I put that on there as well. Not many people would show their vulnerability, right? So I'd say to the new generation of athletes or youngsters coming through, keep it real. Be real to yourself. Don't try and keep up with anyone, and just know that you're not going to get a helping hand. You'll get a helping hand once you've made it, but you've done the work then. Yeah, you've just got to be real, and especially within our sport, everyone's your friend when you're doing great. Yeah. But as soon as you fall off or you get injured or things ain't going right, the friends disappear. That's why my circle's a dot. So yeah, anyway, on to the next thing. Okay, so Christian, we're gonna have a look below because there's some of the questions that the Lifeplus guys have submitted to us. So we'll go through those and read them off and answer them.
All right, let's go.
Right, I know the answer to this already. How did you find out about Lifeplus, and how are you approached to be a sponsored athlete? Real talk.
Yeah. So through you, right? So basically, as you said with the circle, you came off of, you were surviving. You were like then just finding out like how to run again, how to get back to it. And I saw you posting Lifeplus, and I was like, what is this guy going on about? Lifeplus family, Lifeplus community. And I was like, what is this? So yeah, we randomly just had a conversation, and you were like, Christian, you gotta tap into these people. Like, best support you're ever gonna receive. I mean, it's a family. But then the thing is, I still got experience are these festivals. You were like, beyond the support we have virtually or from a distance, you need to go to a festival.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, no house rave, nothing can compare to these festivals. I mean, it's just positive energy. So I was like, okay, he's obviously found something, right? Like he's tapped into something. So yeah, then obviously we got connected. Faye, Sabrina, Malcolm, and had the conversations. But it's exactly that, right? I think we just keep using that word, family, community. It's been exactly that. So through the trenches, through the ups and the downs, it's people that generally want to see you reach your goals, and we get to like help them reach your goals, right? And so whether it's we're doing To the Moon and Back challenge, doing that now, second year. We're setting goals and we're achieving them together. I think it's a very unique community to be a part of. And I'm honored that you shared this with me and brought me on board, but I'm very, very excited for these festivals.
Yeah, man. No doubt. You need to, 2024, you need to touch, man.
Yeah.
Show like some dance moves. Hear me.
Come on.
But yeah, so currently, what's your daily routine looking like? What does an average 24 hours for a Christian look like?
Yeah. So believe it or not, today I even had 6,300. So you spoke on that. I was like, okay, you're putting that out there. So thank you for that. I felt like you already felt that energy coming through the screen. But yeah, so every day it's just waking up. I've got my little daily devotions that I just try to get my mind centered and just focus on what this is all about, right? And, I just strive to just be bigger than a role model. Like I just want to be a good person, James, and just in my actions, regardless of the accolades and stuff like this, it's like what I want to be remembered as is just like the most accessible, approachable, easygoing, like the same. I want to be the greatest compliment I ever can get is like, man, you haven't changed.
Yeah.
I love hearing that.
Yeah,
right.
Like you're the same guy, man, for sure.
And so this is really my mindset every day. How can I love on people? How can I encourage people? How could I just be the same person I was 15, 16, right? And so obviously you do want to mature and but you understand what I'm saying? Like my spirit is just like, yeah, you want to come hang out? Let's hang out. You want to barbecue? You want to like chat it up? Let's do it. So that's really my mindset. Then, obviously breakfast, get my focus powder in and just get ready for another training session. I got my sustain. And that could not be a more honest like supplement that you get sustain. Like you need that like through training, right? And so yeah, then I'm training 6 days a week, 2 sessions, 5 days a week, 1 session, 1 day. Then Sundays are off, and then outside of training, it's recovery. That's one thing that people probably don't even factor in. Like, as much time as we're training, you have to also make sure that you're putting that recovery in, because you need to be able to recover and put your best stuff out the next day. And so, whether that's foam rolling, whether that's massage, whether that's stretching, chiropractor, like the list goes on. And then I love being in the garden, man. So just that's my little escape, just going out there. As I said, if I'm not mixing, trying to have some fun on the deck, it's just being in the garden, just listening to nature and just tapping out.
The next question somebody's asked is, what's the top exercise you'd recommend to improve your triple jump? I mean, that's a mad question, because obviously, that could be, that's how many legs to that question, right? But what would you say? You could name a couple of exercises which would help your triple jump improvement. What would you say?
I'm just going to be transparent, right? It's Lifeplus family, so I'm just going to try to give them the best tips. Run. If you don't sprint, you're not going to jump far. Don't be scared to get into the trenches. Don't be scared to line up with the sprinters. Like, if they drag you, they'll drag you along, but it's going to make you better, right? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Run. Also discover what kind of runner you are, right? So I've had training partners on the far end of the spectrum, like Martin Rooney, that are running 400, 800, 600s. Not my thing. I run to be with the 100, 200 people, but I also know I do have a 400 background. Find balance, find what works for you. And so, but running has been the greatest thing that led to my far jumps. Every other jumper is going to be bounding. Every other jumper is going to be doing plyometrics day in and day out, but jumpers don't like to run. So for the Lifeplus followers,
I can second that. Christian used to do me in a few sessions. So he wasn't easy to run with, like crazy. And jumpers just sticking on our sprinters. But what's the difference? Next question. What's the difference between Lifeplus compared to other supplement companies? I'd answer that first, actually. I would say, for me personally, I'll say the ingredients. I'll say, like, I look in I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to watching what I'm eating, but you look on the back of Lifeplus ingredients and you don't see a lot of these fillers and other bad stuff that I've seen in other companies. I'd say the ingredients for me, I think, is quality ingredients, science-backed ingredients, and stuff you don't really see in too many other companies. So for me, the ingredients.
On my end, I would say accountability, right? Like, there's a lot of people that want to throw these nice words, reliability, but for me, it's like, from the time I got with them, they were like, Christian, we will be responsible not for what you put in, but for every batch, right? Like, we test everything that goes out there. Right. We know, we can track, we can source, and for me, it was like, the accountability that they were like, we will be responsible for everything that goes out, because we know that it is impacting people's lives, and not like current, like it's going to have a future impact, right? And that's something that I think a lot of people aren't thinking. With social media, everything is instant. And for me, Lifeplus, the thing that separated was like, we want to help you reach your short-term goals, but we're also concerned about your health when you're 70 and 80. How many companies are thinking about that, right? And so for me, the accountability aspect, that they were like, if you have any question, like, we know exactly which plant that came from. We know what hands touch this. And I was like, okay, I can actually sleep well at night because of that.
Yeah, that's good. Because I know as you should be, you're very particular. I remember when I lived with you, you wouldn't even take like standard protein or an energy drink. You're like, nope, don't know what's in that. I'm kicking this guy, I don't take anything. But that's a good thing. Like you say, unless you know what's going on in your body, it's important, especially as a professional athlete, right?
Yeah.
Which Lifeplus products have you found most beneficial for you as a professional athlete?
As I spoke about, sustain, man, this thing gets me, like, this is helping with my endurance, because James, from our South Africa days we always chase the sun, right? So we're out in the sun 5-6 hours every single day. You need more than just water. Like, it's the truth, right? Like, you're sweating out more than water, so you need to replenish that. We don't need the sugars, right? And so again, that long-term thinking, like, how can we take care of our body and think about like sustaining it throughout a season, sustaining it throughout the longevity of a career. And so for me, that's just been the thing. But also very personal. I have poor circulation, in my hands and feet, and there's actually a circulation formula, which I thought was super unique. But just getting connected with this and finding out like there's something I can do instead of just being like, yeah, it is how it is. Like, deal with it. It's like, no, we actually have something for that. And so I would just recommend that people just go and see the spread. I mean, it's incredible what Lifeplus makes available.
Makes sense. And in terms of, God, you see my cover, this Lifeplus headquarters, man. I'll take everything. No, for me, I mean, it's always going to have to come back to the simple protein, because we always use protein as athletes. We need it so much. Again, the electrolytes, the sustain. Excel, I like that. That's the vitamin C and amino acids. And then the vitamins, the omega-3 fish oils, the vitamin D and K, the MSM, what else? The daily. That's kind of my my Lifeplus combination that I currently use during the day, every day, pretty much. So they're my go-tos. In terms of another question, in terms of timing of nutrition for training, when do you supplement your body? Is it before or after training to maximize your performances and gains? So for me, I would say you need to be prepared for your train. So I'd make sure I'm hydrated. So that would help with sustain, or Excel, amino acids. And then, during sustain as well. And afterwards is some sort of protein and recovery. I think that's, and the timings, I think in general, you need to be 2 to 3 hours hydrated before you train anyway. So again, for those of you listening, asking for some tips about training, there's no point chugging a load of water with electrolytes 10 minutes before you do a run. It's not going to be in your body. You need to be doing this a few hours before. So that's kind of the long and short of it. What about yourself? Do you go by any other methods?
I would say just exactly what you're saying. Just highlight consistency. Being obedient. Like, just it's a lifestyle, right? So it's not like, let me do this so I can get this result. No, it's like, what are you doing? I spoke about training and recovery. What are you doing after training to take care of your body? Because what you're doing from that time to tomorrow is like, that's what you're putting in. Like, you're setting your engine up for the next day. So, just making sure I am getting those aminos after, I'm getting the proteins after, I am sleeping, I am hydrating. Like, you cannot belittle the basic thing. It's a body at the end of the day. You want it to perform at a higher level. Like, but it is about making sure that I'm hydrating from the time training's finished, like, to tomorrow, right? Not chugging in the morning, not chugging before you go to sleep, like, just discipline, right? And so I think once you find your rhythm, but I think both of us, we cannot speak on enough, like, how importance of hydration, the importance of rest, and even for the younger listeners, like, rest. Your brain is developing, your body's developing. Like, make sure you're getting your hours in. Don't play video games all night. It's fun and stuff, but it's like, you got to look after it. Your brain, like, that is going to be key. That's going to set you apart. Get your rest. Make sure you're hydrating throughout the day.
Super important. Yeah, and I agree. I think we've covered the last question kind of at the beginning. I'll ask it again just in case we can add any more to it. So it says, when you've had difficult times in your life so far, what was the key to still keep moving forward? I'll answer it first. I would say it goes back to what we were saying, me and Christian, with perseverance. I think life is never going to be plain sailing and easy all the way through. And really and truly, would you want it to be like that? Because you can't appreciate and enjoy the good moments without bad moments, right? But I would just say, I'd say storms pass. When you're having a downtime or a difficult time, you have just to understand that at some point that's going to be a memory and you're going to be in a better place. Things come and go, right? And I think the key to having a more stable, consistent, happy life, not like I'm a psychologist or life coach or anything, but I'm just talking about for myself. take certain things with a pinch of salt. I mean, there's some things obviously that are life changing and they're going to affect you, right? But at the end of the day, whilst you're living and still breathing there, you've got to always have hope and look forward to better days. And I think that kind of that happy-go-lucky attitude can balance you out a bit. That's my advice anyway.
Yeah. My 2 cents would just be make sure you have the right people around you, right? You don't have to do this alone. There's no one has to do life alone. So make sure you have people around you that when you don't have the strength, that they can pull you along, that they can lift you up, that they can pour into you. And just have people that you can just be honest with, right? Hey, I'm struggling. Hey, like there's so much talk about mental health, but it's different than talking about it than applying it, right? Hey, I don't know what to do. I'm nervous to go into this interview. Whatever it may be, just have the right people around you that you can just be like, hey, I need some help. Can you extend a hand? And then, like I said, when you're in a good spot, don't be afraid to look around and be like, hey, how can I help you? Right? Like I've been through what you're going through. And that was the thing, James, you had a life-changing accident where it was like, you were like death row, right? And when I had my injury, I know this sounds weird, but it was like, I looked at you and I was like, man, I tore my Achilles. What is that to a guy that was helicoptered off a mountain, right? Like, and look, he's running now. If he can do this, his body was broken. What is my little Achilles, right? And it was just like, just having those right people around you that I could just tap in and be like, dang, James, like, tell me like your mindset going through it, right? And you were just like, no, I know it's not over. My journey's not over. Like, I have to be able to. And I was like, okay, again, that drive that I'm so inspired by. Like, it was just like, there wasn't even a doubt, right? And I was like, you know what? If he can do it, so can I. So just make sure you have those people around you that you guys can just pour into each other.
Wow, wicked. I couldn't have said it better myself. But I do need help, actually, as you talk about reaching out for help. I need Olympic gold medal. Could you help me, please? Could you donate one of yours, please? That then my dream will be achieved. Jokes.
Yeah.
Listen, it's been good. Good catching up. This is actually, for you listeners, this is actually been a genuine catch up because I ain't spoke to Christian, God knows, for months. We've had the odd check in here, but we had a proper conversation. So if you're going, oh, this is genuine and organic, it is because it's actually like a catch up, right? So thanks for jumping on here with me. I appreciate your greatness and your presence.
Get out of here, man.
But, man. Hopefully we'll see some of the guys watching at one of the festivals in the summer, maybe next year. Actually, you're gonna be preparing for the Olympics, so probably not, maybe, but we'll see. We never know. I'll be there.
Yeah. Well, thank you, James. Appreciate the time. Thank you guys for the questions. I hope that this spoke to you in some way and be sure. I mean, it's a dialogue, right? So if you guys receive something, be sure to send it to Lifeplus and let us know how we can keep this going and just keep building on the podcast and just having this conversation. But James, man, safe travels, keep grinding, stay hungry. Brother, I just can't wait to get connected with you, and I'm looking forward to this festival this summer.
All right, I love it, bro.
All right, man. Peace.
Easy.